we are in the brothel. My day is complete.
If someone here tries to hire me again, I'm leaving.
The merchandise is up front.
He didn't really ask you to wear a feather.
You know, Fenris, I have a tattoo.
You have a what?
A tattoo. A lot of us got them before Ostagar. It's a Mabari, for strength.
Does it curse you with the ability to reach into a man and tear out his insides?
I can make it bark.
Please don't.
Yes, refrain.
Today's my rest day, but I'll make an exception for you. What can I say? Why work if you're not working hard?
I can see why Nanette liked you. You're feisty.
A refreshing change from the pale slug I married. I hear she finally left her worthless husband. Good for her. I just wish she'd said goodbye.
Did she tell you she left her husband?
No, I just hope that's what she did. Ghislaine only wants her for her family's wealth. Ninette's a jewel. Elegant, worldly, just the perfect level of depraved. Ghislaine doesn't deserve her.
Do you think Nanette has come to harm?
I hope not. Everyone loves Ninette. Sometimes twice a night. Ghislaine's the only one who might hurt her, and he doesn't have the balls for it.
Ghislaine knew about you and Nanette. Did he talk to you?
The man is incapable of talking. He came here, yelled at me, called me a dirty knife-eater, among other things, and accused me of corrupting his wife. We had him thrown out.
Were you hoping Nanette would leave Ghislaine for you?
Of course not. I know my place. I offer a service, that's all. Anyway, there was someone else looking for Nanette. A Templar. I believe his name was Emmerich. He wouldn't sleep with me either. I can't see why a Templar would be interested in anyone who isn't a mage.
Any chance Ninette's an apostate?
Well, she certainly cast a spell on me. Anyway, if Ninette was a mage, I think Emmerich would have said so.
Someone else Ninette spent special alone time with, perhaps?
She always liked men in uniform. You could ask him yourself. Emmerich said he'd continue his investigation in Darktown. You could see if he's still there. And if you find Ninette, tell her to drop by and see me sometime. Back again? Sure you're not interested in my many, many services?
I was just passing through.
Have it your way.
The sewers aren't half as bad as the deep roads.
Mind your manners. This is my territory.
We don't want no Templar.
Get back! I don't want to burn.
thank you, Syrah, for coming along when you did. I am Emmerich.
You're older than I thought you'd be. Ninette seems to go for the young, pointy-eared sorts.
What?
Ninette to Karak. I hear she got around. And you were asking about her, so I just assumed.
Preposterous. I was concerned that she was in danger, and that is all. However, the investigation has been a waste of time.
That sort of attitude will never pay off.
Ha! I was eager at first, but failure has leached all enthusiasm from me. This all started when Maren, one of our circle mages, disappeared. I found it odd. She was a bit older and hardly adventurous. Then I heard about Ninette and 2 other missing women.
Between the Circle and Ghislaine, is it any wonder these women ran away?
I think the disappearances are connected, and I suspect foul play is involved.
Mages routinely flee the Circle. Perhaps Maren just wanted freedom.
She had always been loyal. She received lilies from an unknown suitor, and some of us thought she may have gone to meet him. Perhaps her disappearance is linked.
Doesn't the Circle use phylacteries to keep track of its mages?
We followed her phylactery to a foundry, but found nothing. I had heard of sympathizers smuggling mages through Darktown, so came here hoping to pick up the trail. But no trace of Maren. And as you've seen, asking the locals hasn't made me very popular.
Have you mentioned any of this to the city guard?
They say there's no proof the disappearances are connected. They think the women just left home, that it happens all the time.
People don't just disappear. Perhaps they were murdered or kidnapped.
We found no bodies, no ransom notes. Those women just vanished.
Can I assist your investigation?
It's no longer my investigation, Syrah. You may take over if you wish. This battle showed that I'm no longer the warrior I used to be. I know when to walk away. Here, take my findings. Perhaps you can make more use of them. I'm going back to the gallows. I'm too old for this.
A foundry in Lowtown. I should look into that.
Sorry about your sister. She sounds like a special girl.
Why? Because she was a mage?
Your other sister says she was a good person. She never turned down a chance to help people.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure the Chantry's got a shrine with her portrait on it.
I was trying to be nice.
Stick to Surly. It works for you.
Kirkwall nights aren't safe. Always some group of thugs around. Someone will usually pay for their removal, though.
This is the true picture of Kirkwall.
Why does everything we do have to involve magic?
That ring looks Orlesian.
Severed hand, a ring, and a pile of bones. Emmerich will want to see this. And I should bring the ring to Ghislaine. It might belong to Ninette.
Thugs are plaguing the streets. I don't see a problem in giving them the fight they want.
Good job in there. In fact, get rid of any other groups like that, and I'll be at the Hanged Man with some toys as reward. Courtesy of some interested friends.
I never meet anyone normal.
I've heard about the Circle of Magi outside of the Imperium, but I've never been in one. Are you certain it's wise for you to be here?
Maybe not, but we'll be cautious.
This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle I know.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any signs of corruption or weakness. Then it changed. The Magisters were permitted to watch over their own, and Templars kept only to enforce the law. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters rule again, as powerful as they ever were.
You said the Chantry used to watch the Magisters. Why did they stop?
You must remember that the attitude towards magic is different in Tevinter. Magisters came from wealthy families, bloodlines that had nurtured magical talent for countless generations. The Chantry was not trying to control poor peasants, but the scions of the greatest houses in the Imperium.
I thought the Magisters had been thrown down by the Chantry.
On the contrary, Andraste never defeated the Imperium. A great army conquered the south, but not the north. The Magisters eventually surrendered to the Chantry, but they did so on their terms. They kept their influence. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Some battles are lost by inches.
What the Circle does here is better than the alternative.
An alternative I am very familiar with.
Alternatives are so wonderful for those who have choices.
Freedom is a noble ideal, but I see no oppression here. I see fear and danger. But enough. I'm sure we came here for a reason.
Recognize your mage? This was left in the foundry you mentioned in your notes. I was also attacked by shades.
These are human bones. Then there is no chance of finding Meren alive, or any of the others.
I saw someone leaving the scene, but they got away. I'm sorry.
It was more than I accomplished. I will bring this to the city guard immediately. It should be enough to convince them the disappearances are worth investigating.
Do you know a recruit named Karen? His sister is looking for him.
We cannot speak to you, Messer.
Probably for the best, sister.
To the void with that. Karen and the others are missing.
But our orders...
The Knights aren't doing anything to find them. Maybe it's time to ask for outside help.
You're already defying orders to talk to me. Might as well share the good stuff.
I hear that Knight Commander Meredith has some new initiation you have to go through. If you're not strong enough or fervent enough in belief, you don't make it out alive.
Sounds brutal. And effective.
Seems to me a weak Templar would die just as quickly.
And you honestly believe that?
Recruits keep going missing.
Wilmot came back.
What?
He did. I saw him this morning.
What else do you know about the initiation?
You hear about some... questionable things that the Order must do these days. The Knight Commander only wants Templars that can do... what must be done.
Andraste alive. She's killing recruits that might question her orders, isn't she?
That's rubbish. She wouldn't do that.
If Wilmot came back, he might know more about the other missing recruits.
I bet he would.
Wilmot told me he was going outside Kirkwall. Clear his head, he said.
Why didn't you tell us this?
Knight Captain Cullen ordered it, right before he chased after Wilmot. That wasn't too long ago. If you hurry, you may catch them on the road.
It's not so bad here.
You ever going to stop on the mages here?
No.
They aren't what you saw in Tevinter.
The moment they are free, mages will make themselves magisters.
They're slaves. You should want to help them.
I don't.
Nice day to be planning a trip into the deep roads, don't you think? The blight, the dampness, the festering darkness filled with tainted rats.
Shut up.
You've got a real chip on your shoulder, you know.
I've got a big blade on my shoulder, Magey.
Right. Wonder what you're compensating for.
I couldn't bring back your wife, but here's a ring. It looks pricey.
Ah, Ninette's wedding ring. Yes. Look at the engraving. Forever faithful, forever yours. Oh. Written in happier times. Where did you find it?
It was on Ninette's hand, which was cut from her body. She's dead.
On her hand? Ah, I see. Well, maybe you should take this back. I don't want anything that might link me to her death. Especially with her family asking questions. No. They're going to blame me. I just know it. Excuse me, sir. I have arrangements to make.
Welcome, merchant.
Rodan Feddick, purveyor of goods both common and rare, at your service. And this is my son, Sandor, who is as brilliant an enchanter as you'll ever find. Say hello to the nice human, Sandor.
Hello.
We shall be accompanying your expedition and providing the needed supplies. It's all quite exciting, isn't it?
The thought of adventure does make me giddy.
A kindred soul, surely. But I digress. Do you wish to peruse my wares, or perhaps make use of Sandal's unique talents?
Enchantment?
Just so.
Let's see what you have.
By all means, feel free to peruse my wares whenever you wish.
I don't want to see any trouble.
So, there must be mages in Tevinter who don't use blood magic.
Of course. There are slaves. The magisters do not hesitate to collar their own kind.
But no magisters.
Why must you go on about this? No magister would turn down an advantage over his rivals. If he did, he'd be dead.
You know, to use blood magic, you need to look a demon in the eye and accept his offer. I just figured some of them would say no. For aesthetic reasons, if nothing else.
You owe us, Isabella.
Well, Lucky, I'll tell you what. Since the information you gave me was worth nothing, that's what I'll pay you.
Me and my boys will get our money's worth, bitch.
Oh, you poor sweet thing. Tell me, Lucky, is this worth dying for? I didn't think so. You're new around here, aren't you? Welcome, and keep your wits about you. You're nothing but tits and arse to the men in this place, and they won't hesitate to grab at both.
Speaking from experience, are we?
After a few broken fingers here and there, they got the idea. I'm Isabella. Previously Captain Isabella. Sadly, without my ship, the title rings a bit hollow. You're Ferelden, aren't you? You have that look about you. I was in Denerim not too long ago. I even met the hero of Ferelden, if you know what I mean. You know, you might be just what I'm looking for to solve a little problem I have.
Can't anyone fix their own lives around here?
Must be something in the water. Someone from my past has been pestering me. I've arranged for a duel. If I win, he leaves me alone. But I don't trust him to play fair. I need someone to watch my back.
Why a duel?
I like duels. It's what I do. And if I win, he'll be dead. Problem solved.
Who's this person you've arranged to meet?
His name is Hader. We worked together back in Antiva. He's never liked me. He's been asking about me all around Kirkwall. Thought I'd get it over with and meet him face to face.
I think I could manage watching your back.
I'll bet. I've arranged to meet Hader in Hightown after dark. I'll meet you there.
It's 3 bits for a mug.
Did I hear correctly? You are an abomination.
Why don't you shout? I don't think everyone heard you.
Do you see yourself as harmless then? An abomination who would never harm anyone?
Like ripping someone's heart out of his chest?
I did that at the behest of no demon.
So we agree that it doesn't take a demon for someone to be a vicious killer. Good.
So, I've been dying to know. What was going through your head when you fought that ogre?
For the first few seconds, what do they feed those things?
I don't know anyone else that's even seen one. You're lucky just to be standing here. Somehow, Hawke, I imagine things won't be dull with you around. Not that I expect the deep roads to be boring, mind you. Constant threat of doom does tend to keep you awake.
Anything in particular I should know about your brother?
To understand Bartrand, you've got to understand the Dwarven Merchants Guild. These are dwarves who would sell their mothers if they thought it'd get them a better share of the lyrium market. Anyone who deals with them has to sleep with a knife under their pillow. In my family, that's Bartrand.
If we'll be working together, I should find out more about you.
You're in luck. I'm always willing to talk about myself to beautiful women. My family came from Orzammar, noble house Tethras, until my father got caught fixing provings. He and our whole house got exiled. No huge loss. I was born up here. Sunshine suits me just fine.
Are you a merchant? A mercenary?
I'm a younger son. It's a difficult and dangerous profession. A lot of us die of boredom. Fortunately, being Bartrand's younger brother keeps me on my toes. Maker knows he lacks subtlety. I'm the one who pulls strings to keep the coterie out of our hair. Keep us just a whisker ahead of the other families.
A lot of things can keep you awake, you know. I wouldn't reach for the doom first.
Sure, I could have a cup of tea in the morning, but I hear it's bad for you. I've spent my whole life in Kirkwall. Dangerous enough most days, but it doesn't compare to the deep roads. So, this will be, let's just call it an adventure, I guess.
Great. Now we're adventurous.
dropped off a message for you. It's on the desk.
Not before he gave it a shake to see if there were coins inside.
I was worried they would fall out.
This ground is cursed. Only wretched or ignorant souls would linger here.
There's work here, but I wouldn't call it paying work.
There's a foul wind coming from that cavern. I smell death.